Title: The Weight of a Thousand Suns. Part 1: The Silence Breaks. In the year 2187, Dr. Amina Al-Najjar was alone in the deep space listening post Kepler 9, orbiting a dead star 200 light-years from Sol. She had volunteered for the 18-month solo shift because she no longer trusted people. Equations never lied, never left, never died the way her wife had on the Mars shuttle accident 12 years earlier. On the 412th night, the arrays lit up with a signal that was too structured to be natural, too old to be noise. It repeated every 47 seconds, a sequence of 1,679 pulses, prime numbers arranged in a spiral. Amina's hand shook as she fed it into the translator stack. The output was a single line in perfect archaic Arabic. "We have been waiting for the children of the third planet to look up again." She sat back, heart hammering so hard the medical monitor screamed. After 400 years of steady silence, the universe had answered in her mother's childhood dialect. Part 2: The Envoy. 3 weeks later, a vessel the size of Manhattan unfolded from nothing outside Neptune's orbit. It did not arrive. It simply ceased not being there. The ship was a lattice of living crystal that sang in harmonics that made dogs on Earth howl and children wake crying. The aliens called themselves the Vael. Their envoy, a being named Courier of the Ninth Choir, appeared on every screen on Earth simultaneously. It looked like a tree made of moonlight and mercury, 8 meters tall, limbs branching into fractal hands. Its voice arrived directly in the language centers of the brain. "We come in peace. We also come in judgment. You have been observed for 12 of your millennia. The time of hiding is over." Governments panicked. Militaries went to DEFCON 1. Stock markets froze. In Lagos, Jakarta, Sao Paulo, people filled the streets, some praying, some rioting, most simply staring at the sky as though it had betrayed them. Amina was pulled from Kepler 9 and brought to Geneva. The UN had formed the Contact Commission in 72 frantic hours. They needed someone who had heard the Vael first. She hated the idea of being humanity's face, but she hated silence more. Part 3: The Trial Worlds. The Vael did not offer membership in their Galactic Council lightly. 5,000 civilizations belonged. Only 30 had been admitted in the last 10,000 years. The rest were either quarantined, uplifted slowly, or, when irredeemably violent, quietly unmade. To join, a species had to pass 3 proofs. The first proof was the proof of empathy. Solve a crisis on a pre-spacefaring world without being detected and without causing net harm. The second was the proof of restraint. Refuse to use a weapon capable of sterilizing a biosphere, even when survival seemed to demand it. The third was the proof of memory. Willingly relive, as a species, the worst atrocity your kind ever committed in full sensory detail, and then choose something other than revenge. Humanity was given 2.3 Earth years. Part 4: The First Proof, Ashkar. The Vael transported 30,000 human volunteers to an observation sphere cloaked above Ashkar, a humid planet of Bronze Age reptilians whose 2 superpowers were about to ignite a planetary war over the last unpolluted river. Captain Daniel "Danny" Okafor, former Nigerian peacekeeping commander who had lost half his platoon in the Congo Water Wars, led the human team. He was 44, missing his left arm below the elbow, and carried guilt like a second skeleton. The rules were brutal. No direct contact, no advanced technology that could be traced. They had gravity hooks, neural-laced translators, and medical nanites. Nothing more. For 14 months they worked in secret. Amina coordinated from orbit, whispering suggestions into dreams, subtly shifting weather patterns to refill aquifers, forging miracles that both sides of the war claimed as divine favor. Danny led sabotage teams that destroyed arsenals by making them look like accidents of fate. On the last day, the 2 reptilian emperors met on a bridge to sign peace. Danny watched from the shadows, tears cutting clean lines through the ash on his face. He radioed Amina. "Tell me this is real. Tell me we didn't just become gods to them." "We became janitors," she answered. "And the floor is still filthy, but it's less bloody. The Vael recorded a 97% reduction in projected casualties. The first proof was passed. Part 5. The second proof. The Temptation Fleet. 6 months later, a rogue human faction called the Puritas Dominion stole a Vael antimatter lance prototype. They threatened to use it on the Council's neutral station at Leuten's Star unless humanity was granted immediate membership, and Earth declared sovereign over the Sol volume. The weapon could erase a solar system in a heartbeat. The Council gave Earth an ultimatum: stop them or be erased with them. The UN fleet, barely warp-capable, cornered the Dominion ships above Titan. Admiral Ji-eun Park, a woman who had grown up in the flooded ruins of Seoul and sworn never to let ideology drown another child, commanded the task force. The Dominion commander was her own brother, Min-soo, who believed humanity must seize power before the galaxy crushed it. Ji-eun opened a channel. "Min-soo, look at me. We were children hiding under the same desk when the sea walls broke. Don't make me kill you with alien fire." He answered by charging the lance. Ji-eun ordered ramming speed with conventional drives. No antimatter, no superweapons. Her flagship took the lance hit meant for the station, shields collapsing, hull screaming. Half her crew died in the first 10 seconds. In the end, boarding parties in nothing but armored vac suits took the Dominion bridge with railguns and knives. Min-soo died in Ji-eun's arms, whispering, "I was afraid." She held him until the medics pulled her away. Then she transmitted to the Council, "We refuse the weapon, even when it would have saved us. Judge that." The Vael were silent for 9 days. Then Courier appeared again, branches dimmed in what might have been sorrow. "The second proof is accepted. You chose grief over dominion."
Part 6. The third proof, the memory. The final test was the worst.
Every human over the age of 12 was compelled. No implants, no force, just an invitation impossible to ignore, to enter shared neural immersion. They would live the Holocaust, the transatlantic slave trade, the rape of Nanking, the Holodomor, the Cambodian killing fields, the Rwandan genocide, every atrocity where records survived, all at once, from both sides.
Billions screamed. Suicide rates spiked. Therapy networks collapsed. Yet when the immersion ended, the Council asked a single question, broadcast into every mind. Knowing what you now know without doubt, what you choose for those who came before you and for those who will come after. The planetary referendum lasted 1 hour. 99.2% of humanity voted for remembrance without vengeance, for museums and warnings instead of purges, for teaching children the taste of ashes so they would never hunger for them again. Amina, hollow-eyed, cast her vote from a hospital bed where she had clawed her own arms raw during the immersion. She whispered to the empty room, "We choose to carry it, all of it, so no one else has to." Part 7. The welcoming of Pauth. On the 3rd anniversary of first contact, the Vael returned. Courier stood before the General Assembly, no longer 8 meters tall but human-sized, branches folded like clasped hands. "You are the 31st species in 10 millennia to pass the proofs without coercion or deceit. You wept, you refused power, and you chose memory over forgetting. These are rare things, even among the ancient." The crystal ship opened above Earth like a flower made of auroras. Thousands of Council species sent representatives, some gaseous, some crystalline, some stranger. They did not cheer. Many had no concept of it. Instead, they sang, a chord that made whales breach and babies laugh in their sleep. Amina, Danny, and Ji-eun were called forward as the first human counselors. Courier placed a small seed of living light in Amina's palm. "This is a branch of the first tree. Plant it where your pain was deepest. It will remember for you, and it will remind you why you must never return there." Amina closed her fist around it. She thought of her wife's empty side of the bed of cattle cars and flooded cities, of her own trembling hands the night the sky first spoke. She looked up at the alien who had judged them and found them wanting nothing. "Thank you," she said, voice cracking, "for not letting us become what we feared." Courier's light brightened, almost like a smile. "Welcome to the Council, children of the third planet. The galaxy is older than you can imagine, and far more wounded. You will not heal it. But for the first time in a very long while, we believe someone might help us try." Above Earth, the night sky rearranged itself. New stars appeared, beacons from 1,000 civilizations saying in their own ways, "You are not alone anymore." And in bedrooms and bunkers and hospitals all over the wounded, stubborn little world, humanity cried, "Enough